Oh, come gather around, my homosexuals. I had such an amazing workout today. We are just continuing the streak of getting back on my feet. Honestly, it's been very revitalizing to get a good hold on my physical body again. Because, I'm always going to try to put in my absolute best, but it is really hard to actually force motivation and inspiration when your body gives you that little bit of a pinch in the area that you really don't want to feel it, especially with my knee. Finally just recovering from the looks of it, at least. I'm going to take my time and not rush it, because even though I feel really good, I have to continuously remind myself that I am not at 100% yet, even though it feels that way. There's going that little fuck up, that little strain or tear, whatever, in my left quad tendon. It's still there. It's just very close to being fully healed. But something you got to really remember with injuries, especially bad ones like tendons, joints, whatever, major tears, is that although you may feel at 100% mentally for the rest of your life, that injury never really goes away. The next time you go too hard, that'll be the first thing that goes, because it's just it's like a scar. It never actually truly goes away. You just strengthen it as much as you can to where it can grow past it at a comfortable and consistent, efficient rate, But making progress, man. I truly felt really good. I've gotten a lot better with this, newfound grasp on my body at getting, I talked about it a little bit before, but I'm getting a lot better at being able to really put my body under the bar and whip under it as fast as I want to where my body can give it to me at that fast of a rate. Because, man, when you feel a little fucky-wucky in the form or the whatever injury you've had in the past, it's hard to be fast and it's hard to be consistent and confident. And so I'm finally getting back to that point where I can, treat every rep like it's a PR rep, especially with Olympic lifting. Because that's the way you just got to do it. You got to whip the bar the way that you would mentally if you were trying to hit some new weight. It's the best way to describe it. Because if you don't, your form's going to lack, or you're not going to be getting the most out of that workout. Like today I did light power clean and jerks, and the wide majority of all my reps were very, very good. The new shoes feel great, but it's that effort that I'm putting behind that bar that is giving me the progress that I'm aiming for, because I don't make power cleans light just to give myself a quote-unquote easier day. It's necessary for my fatigue in a way, sure. But it's not meant to be a strength lift. My power clean and jerks are an accessory of my full clean and jerks. So there's no point in going crazy heavy. I have to do weights that I can do the form perfectly with maximum efficiency, so that I can not only get my fatigue level back balanced for the next heavy day, but also have a better confidence when I have to throw my core into the weight or move faster than my body wants to go. That kind of thing. But I will say, I got a little ahead of myself. That fourth, the final working set, you'll get there, it wasn't really pretty. The first rep was fine, but just on the last rep, it hasn't happened in a while, but I pushed the jerk so hard, I did rush it a little bit, where my back foot landed before my front foot by that fraction of a second, so I didn't have the majority of the weight on that front foot like it needed to be. And my front foot ended up going out further by a couple inches than it's supposed to. So it wasn't balanced the way it needed to be. But it was, luckily, again, this is why we do lighter weight for the focus of form and technique, where I now know what to work on next time. As badly, and I tell you now, I really wanted to, as badly as I wanted to do another set just to make it look pretty, there's no point, It's not going to make you stronger just to hit that random last good set. If you want to end the workout on one good final good form rep, go down to the barbell. It's harder to do good technique with no weight. So if you're trying to make it pretty, end the workout with one final rep with just the barbell. Because if you are doing progressive overload with percentages like I am, then trying to do some extra sets or extra reps just to make it feel prettier is not going to make you better. It's going to make you use more energy than what your body was meant to on that specific day. And you have no idea how that might affect your later programming. I plan out about 3 months of programming all at once, so that I can commit to it and have faith in it along the way, so that hopefully by the end of it, I hit that maximum effort PR. Because I earn it after I hit every single percentage at every set and rep scheme that I want it to be at. with everything's got to have a purpose. I desire to make progress in a certain way with every single lift that I write down on the program. It's not just willy-nilly, like, feel it out kind of weight where you're just like, oh, well, I'm going to try to do like an RPE 8 or some shit. Like, I don't agree with that training personally, because I think if you let your ego take over, and your ego is almost always going to try to take over when you get to choose when you stop, then you're going to get injured twice as fast. Like, you got to be either on some really good recovery substances, or you just got to be built fucking different. Because I didn't even do RPE. I did what I thought were comfortable rep maxes for 2 months before my knee got hurt. And in the 2 months that I did it, I had one of the worst injuries on my knees I've ever had. Honestly, the only injury on my knee I've ever had, which it's just a lack of caution for your longevity in the sport, So again, I'm not saying my training's perfect by any means. It's just what works really well for me. Do whatever works best for you, or whatever makes you happy. Who gives a shit at that point, But, the weight's going to get heavy at some point, man. It's going to. Today, I was really thinking about where the weights were at, or more yesterday, with like my snatches and my back squats today, because I went pretty heavy on my back squat today. 390 for 4 sets of 4 is a lot. It's the heaviest kind of stuff I've done on squats since my knee got messed up. So it's scary to feel that stuff out without knowing exactly where you're going to be, because I don't have that current experience anymore. I have to rebuild it back up, especially in my core and my low back. But I was the other week when I did 365 for 5 sets of 4, I was like, damn, that was easy. The weight feels kind of light. Maybe I need to up it, or I'm never going to deviate from what I write for the program, because I know what it means. But anytime you're sitting there trying to convince yourself to up the weight because you think it's too easy currently, if you got it planned out and you do that progressive overload training like I'm doing, you got to remember, man, it's gonna catch up to you. I promise you. So I think every progressive overload training program needs to end with whatever set you think is the highest weight and sets and reps that you can go to without hurting yourself or overdoing it. So for me, that's when I compare it to the rest of my training. Normally, my splits, I do a 6-4-2 rep split when it comes to my squats. Every month I switch the percentages of the reps, and every week I take the set volume down. So I'll start my lightest week with 5 sets at whatever reps I'm doing, then 4, then 3 sets. And so for me, ending the program when it comes to the squats at 4 sets of 2 for 90% is good enough to go to a PR afterward, because I think that if I were to try to do 3 by 2 at 95% for doubles, like that would be really pushing it to near rep max kind of feeling. And if I'm gonna train to get to a PR ready lift, and if I end on that 95%, that is the max out. I can't earn that max out anymore if I'm gonna go that heavy. So I have to pick and choose and be very careful with what I do. Which honestly, now that I say it, it might be even smarter to do the 3x4 at the end of the program rather than just doing a 1 rep max. Because I'm not a big fan of 1 rep maxing. I don't think you grow that well from any sort of 1 rep maxing. But the thing I want to be very careful of is the fact that if I do that, I'm going to be hitting very heavy weights for an entire week straight. And I've had issues with that in the past. I don't want to overdo it to where I can't physically lift it anymore. Because it's going to be like I'm trying to hit new weight every single day at that point. That's the day where I have to test everything out and see where everything is. Like, for example, on my clean and jerks, I'll be getting somewhere around like 315 for 4 singles at the end of the program with how it's set up. So if I go to that next week, I'm going to be doing something around, I don't even know, or no. Okay, so here you go. So it's the 4 singles at like, I want to say 305 maybe. I haven't really looked into it yet. But if I were to do 3 singles, I would have to go somewhere near my PR at like 315, 320, maybe 325. And I need to do a cost analysis and look at this and think, am I going to proceed in a better way by doing heavier weights for several sets, or am I going to, make better progress by just hitting the single 1 rep max without any other training on those days, to really see where I'm at. Because another thing you have to remember is if I train it as a sort of like set volume max by like the 3x1 at 95%, I don't know how much weight I can increase the program by, Do I stick to increasing it by 10? Do I try putting more weight than I should? That's where the ego starts to get in. So doing the 1 rep max might be smarter than the three singles or the 3x2, simply because it shows me exactly where I am. This is what I'm talking about. You got to really be able to look back and forth at what your lifts are going to look like. And again, today, my core is getting stronger every single day, exponentially. It's getting back to where it used to be. I feel very primed. But I have to remember what these feel like. The weight is picking up really fucking quick. And next week, I'm supposed to do 415 for 3 sets of 4. That's going to be really fucking pushing it compared to today. And again, it may look easy to you guys from the background, but when I'm under the barbell, you got to understand that it feels like the world is crushing me, no matter how fast it's moving. Because I'm fully committed when it comes to the mind-muscle connection, the confidence that I have in those lifts. So it's moving as fast as it is because I'm fully committing to it every single time. But that doesn't mean it feels any easier. In fact, it almost feels harder because of how much more I'm straining my body to lift at maximum efficiency. That 100% effort that I can put in right now. Oh. But anyway, it feels good. Honestly, I'm glad that we're talking about this now because I really need to actually do an analysis of what might be better because I don't know. Because that's the way I used to train, where I'd work up to those weights and I've had back and forth results. And again, it might be nice to give myself a little bit of a max out week sometimes. Because the way it's written out now is once I hit that second week of block 3, I'll do a snatch max out for 1 day and that's it. The next day I'll come in and do a clean and jerk max and that's it. I'll take a rest day, and then we'll do a squat max, and then the day after that, I'll do a bench max. I know that seems very spread out and inefficient to most people, but for me, I've done the rep maxing programs, I've done the progressive overload, add a certain amount of weight every single program, and, I can't do full workouts while trying to hit new weight, and having several max outs on 1 day has tanked me in the past. I don't compete. I'm not trying to see how my max outs look doing a snatch max out and then a clean and jerk max out in the same fucking setting, I'm just trying to see exactly where I'm at, where I feel the most primed. And as you guys have seen my lifting and all my days of all my program days, there's never a day where I do snatch or clean and jerk together because I just don't like training that way. That's just me personally. Same with bench and squat. They are never on the same day. So I shouldn't program the max outs that way, even if it seems more efficient. My whole point is the weight will catch up to you so fucking fast. I'm thinking about all this now, and the idea of doing one more heavy week without doing a max out is intriguing. But through my knowledge and prior experience and perspectives, looking back on what I've gone through, I know that might hurt me in the end. So I got to really see what my body will respond positively to without taking me down. Because I got to restart the program right after I hit those lifts, man. So I can't just hit those PRs and then be dead for a week, I got to be confident and assertive about where I want to go without letting it creep up on me too quickly. Because that last week on the program before the PRs, it's going to hit like a truck. I'm trying to do somewhere around 330, 335 for doubles on bench, like 445, maybe more for maybe like 450 for doubles on squat, stuff like that. It's some scary weight. I don't even know where the snatch clean and jerks are going to be. It's probably going to be somewhere near like 315 on clean and jerk and like 255 on snatch. So I gotta be able to really lock that shit in, and for several sets. It's not just a one and go thing. I have to be able to be confident consistently through those sets. But either way, I know I fucking talked too long. And I did not let you guys know how I'm doing. Whatever, I had a great day. you guys know if I'm talking like this and just I can't fucking stop, it just means I had a wonderful experience, and it's got me more and more motivated to do better next time, you know, and continue this path of growth. So just before I let y'all go, basically, I will for sure give it a 9.5. It felt fucking phenomenal. You know, I'm getting my squat back to normal, and it's moving quick. Like, that weight is like 10 pounds, 15 pounds away from 405, and it was moving fucking quick. So, you know, I'm gonna be very excited to try some new weight out next week and the following month after that. Because I've never been so confident since my knee's been fucked up. And I told you guys, it's just putting in the days, one day at a time, having faith. It will get there eventually. Might not ever be the same, but you'll make progress to where you'll feel at a new sort of 100% physically or mentally or whatever, you know? Because you can't just look at your old self and think that's what I got to get to. You're not the same lifter anymore. You know, you're completely different now. So you got to treat yourself that way and say, okay, so let's just make sure I'm doing the best that I can do now. And whatever I get to, that'll be my new absolute 100%, you know? But either way, mentally, 9.6. I think that was what it was yesterday, but I'm consistently feeling fucking good, man. You know? It's just barely over physical, and it's never a matter of like I'm trying to be mentally better than physical. It's just if you feel good physically, your brain's going to be very, very happy. You know, it's the easiest dosage of serotonin you can give yourself. So I'm going to just keep loving the progress, taking my time, you know, really learning and analyzing what I'm doing along the way, and we'll see where I get. You know, we'll make progress either way. I promise you that. But got to take our time. And got to have faith in the program as it stands currently, you know? If the program doesn't work and I go all the way through it and I don't see progress, then we'll change it, you know? But you can't just switch up in the middle of the fucking program that you wrote, that you put yourself in, because you're not happy with the results in the short term. You've got to at least attempt the long term for what you've planned out and then analyze and see where you can go from there. So either way, let me know how y'all are doing. The lifts and the lives. I love hearing about it. And I appreciate y'all sticking around because I know I cannot fucking stop talking sometimes, but I love this shit, you know? But I'll be back tomorrow. I've got pause snatch and pause bench press. So it'll be a day for the shoulders, but I'm getting more and more confident every day, and I am excited to throw some heavy weight the way I want to, you know? So either way, I love you guys, and I'll be back. See ya.